Good day and a warm welcome to you. This is Week in Slice with Yakubu Jibril on Third Eye Africa TV. Now, this is a program where we select issues that we think are worthy of discourse and we'll bring them here and try to digest and analyze it for you to give you more information and understanding on the issues. I have my in-house guests, and after this break, we'll do justice, or we'll try to do justice to this said topic. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, you meet them and we'll go into the program properly. See you soon. Welcome back from that short break. Now, this remains your program, Week in Slice on Third Eye Africa TV. It's a weekly program where we discuss the happenings, hot topics within the week, and we try to, help you understand them better. Right. So, by my immediate left here, I have Sa'adatu. Sa'adatu, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Then after that, we have our very own Juliet. Juliet, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Right. So let's go straight into it. We've seen during the week where people, even before this week anyways, people were talking about the soldiers' salaries and other things. And then we've seen cases where I think early this year, there was a case with a particular soldier who came out to say that even talking about their gears, their operational equipment, some do have to buy them by themselves. Now, the question everybody was asking is, should that be the case? And if that shouldn't be the case, why is it a fact now in our security system? So I'll start with Sa'a. Sa'a, what do you think about this, that soldiers are not being paid properly, as they are our first line of defense, and them having to purchase some of their equipment and gears to protect us?
Okay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk. But what I will ask myself is that if our soldiers, Nigerian soldiers, are not being paid properly, why is it that we are demanding more from them? We are demanding more from these people. Anything that, one massacre or one attacks happen, most of the thing we should run to police. But the only thing that comes to our mind is soldiers. Why is Nigerian soldiers? Why are they doing this and that?
Yeah.
And then now we are telling ourselves that these people are not being paid properly.
Yes.
Okay? I encourage the fact that these people should be paid properly, because that salary increment is not going to directly increase the security in Nigeria, but it's going to increase their morale.
Yes.
Their commitment.
To serve as an encouragement.
Absolutely.
To them. Yeah.
So because I saw some people on social media saying, why, even if they increase salary for soldiers, does that mean security is going to be normalized? Mm-hmm. Well, we can't say directly security is going to be normalized, but a soldier has to have something for him to come out.
And they operate 24/7.
Yes, they operate.
Unless if they are on off.
And then one sudden fact is that these people are being required to use their own personal money.
Yes, to get
something.
Get stuff,
So I think that is the reason why these soldiers need to be paid. It was so lately that I get to discover that they are being paid 49,000. Yes.
That's for people at the front line.
Yes. I'm like, okay, why is it that I've seen a lot of gentlemen, queue on the line wanting to go for military when while the salary is 49,000.
Exactly.
And then we've seen the effort from the federal government that it has increased to 100,000 naira. Okay. That is not enough. This is the Nigeria of 1960, right? That we have gotten independence. I don't want to compare with South Africa or something, but this South Africa that we are seeing, I just made some research, and their soldiers is receiving quite a number of money that is way bigger and better than the ones Nigeria is saying. I'm not trying to do any comparison here. Yeah, that is the reason why I'm not even going to mention the salary.
It is worthy to note.
It is worthy to note. I'm not going to mention the salary because I know it may provoke Nigerians to know that. And at some point, I'm like, okay, is South Africa doing more to it? Country. So the country is being chivalry to her on me.
Right, I get you. But then before Julia says her opinion, I would like you, Juliet, to put into consideration these few facts that I'm going to point out. We've had situations where our soldiers get injured in line of duty. Most of them, in some cases rather, they foot their own bills. Some of them have been neglected by the system. right? And then the families are not being taken care of, and the soldier is incapacitated. They can't work, and they're not getting all those other extra bonuses, and the bills keep piling up, right? So how do you think? Okay, first off, why do we have these as a reality? Second off, what should and what can be done to improve the lives of our first line of defense officers, the soldiers?
This particular question which you've asked, right, the answer is on the plane. It's there. First off, remuneration, as Sir Adatu has said.
Right.
And remuneration everywhere is a problem.
Okay.
Whether it be in the military, whether it be in private sector, anywhere. This is because the living condition and the living standard of the people are not well enough. If the economy suits the living standard of the people, a lot of people will not have a lot to complain about. Even if you're paid, I'm not saying the 49,000 being paid to the military foot soldiers. That's another point where I'm going to go.
Okay.
Foot soldier, even if the money paid to them is as big as 1 million, and the economy and the cost of living,
that is the purchasing power now.
Purchasing power is high. It will still affect them either way. So now the what to do is easy. Aside increasing the remuneration from 49 to 100, which still isn't enough, ensure that the standard of living, the cost of living is reduced. We're talking about transportation, we're talking about food costs, we're talking about a lot of things.
We might even add electricity bill.
In fact, everything. And looking at now that there is the tax reform coming up, and you have to pay tax as a citizen. And let's go to where she said, we still see a lot of people line up
for recruitment.
Hearing of 8,000 or thereabout. This is the sad reality. They don't care how much. I just want a steady income in my account rather than be an idle person. Like they say, an idle man.
Devil's workshop. Right. So
in addition to what she's saying.
Okay, you want to add?
Yes.
No problem, please. Feel free.
Yes, in addition to what she's saying. Because if this man, the retired general, is demanding for 200.
Okay, that I think NHA.
Yes, NHA. He's demanding for
250.
Demanding, maybe suggesting
250,000
naira. Yes. Addition to what she says, their healthcare.
They should be covered. There should be a healthcare scheme for them that covers
and so many things. And then this military of a thing is a work that do not give you a lot of time to go for side hustle.
Right.
Somebody that is doing white collar job like me. In some cases, our boss may even encourage us to go for side hustle to do something. So, but military work is time demanding, it's energy consuming, and it's a work that you can never say you will come back home.
Right. There's no assurances. Right.
Sorry, just
wow, it's like we're enjoying this topic today.
Really. I mean, it's a sad reality that is surfacing. The question I would have is, why is it that the foot soldiers are being less paid while those in the administrative
offices
are being more paid than those that really carry out
doing the work job.
So that's my puzzling question in my head.
Maybe one of these days we'll get one of them who can talk, maybe from their PR department, to come answer some free questions. But I would like to point out before we go to the next topic, we've seen cases in places like Canada here that most Nigerians now is like a second home to them. You pay your tax, right? And then there is a tax return that you get annually. Like, as you're being paid, they are deducting it from your salary. But then at the end of the year, annually, there's a percentage of your tax that is being paid back to you. So it's almost like, is it what they call Ajo, they call it? Do you understand? So, of course, it will make you want to work, give your all, be diligent, and, be professional about your job. So I hope that one of these days in the nearest future, we'll have such, things incorporated into our system. Now, moving on to the second topic of the day. We have here President Bola Tinubu condemns Kaduna massacre and orders security crackdown. This is in light of the massacre, genocide. I don't know. We're running out of names to call these attacks. It's becoming senseless that people in the community would just get attacked anyhow. And there seem to be no I don't know, how should I put, is it proactive measures to curb these events and actualities from happening? We just let them happen, and then we come to see what we can do after. But why not put measures in place before, to stop some of this? And so I'll start with you, Juliet. What structure do you think is missing in our security system in Nigeria now that warrants us hearing and seeing this kind of news? Like, it's becoming rampant. It's almost a daily routine. Sometimes I think, if I'm not mistaken, some 10, 15 years ago, if you hear about this kind of attacks, it's alien to us. You get shocked and you get, goosebumps, like, how are human beings this mean to themselves? But now it's because we've heard so much, reports in this kind of manner. It almost is as if we are no longer moved. You understand? Like, I didn't see much online regarding the massacre and the Kaduna case. So what do you think is missing in our structure, and how do we get it right again?
Asking me this particular question is like you're blowing me under the belt. Because number one, I'm not a security expert.
Yeah, but then you're a media personnel. So
a media personnel cannot answer the question of the security expert. And this is why. Right. Because you can't tell me that the presidency does not know the structures or the strategies which they have said kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to
that's another topic of the day,
to combat terrorism.
Right.
But either way, we here discussing on this topic, I wouldn't say it's like we're already broken record. I mean, because everybody is used to the like you said, condemned the attack, the massacre. Well, we're used to that. In fact, when people hear, 30 people were killed. 30 people were killed in Kwara.
Sure.
Another. It's not like a weekly trend.
Right.
We're hearing 30 people. It's not human anymore. It's just number. 176 people were kidnapped. 170.
It's just a figure.
We've lost our humanity in Nigeria because of the trend, the continuity of such incidents. So asking for that structure, it's not my place to give. And I think, and I would say it loud, if the presidency is coming out to say, we're just condemning and we're ordering a security crackdown, is that all we see? Is that all we have to hear? Because it's now becoming really disheartening. I won't be moved by such news anymore. This is not an updated news. It's just, he just wants to make a comment. No hard feelings. But this is how the people feel. We want to see more approach, proactive approach. We don't want when the attack happens.
It's a reactive
when
approach.
It happens, that's when they are ordering a crackdown. Why don't the crackdown, the manhunt, go before? Because if our enemies are more prepared than us,
yes. So because they know that we'll wait for them to do, then they will come and mop up.
More like we're sleeping and they come and attack and then we pursue. I'm sorry, but I think I'm getting
right.
Look at the thing. Most of the time when I read through the news as a caster here at Third Eye Africa Television, it's few stories that I hear that the perpetrators were remanded, were caught, were neutralized. Most of the time I hear run into nearby bushes. Why?
Exactly.
So it's actually getting to a point where the people would actually take security and defense to their hands.
Don't you think they should? Now, this question goes to Sir. Like she said, when push comes to shove, right, people will react, definitely. Now, would it be okay for people to react and take saving or security business into their hands in terms of saving their own lives, protecting their own lives rather, and property? Do you think it will sit well because the reason why I'm asking this question to you now is we've seen a case where someone was trying to defend himself against an attacker who happens to be one of the criminal, elements in the community, and he was charged to court for manslaughter.
Okay, are you trying to say what exactly?
No, the question here is, if we get to that point, what do you think are the implications when it comes to our national security as a whole? Now, because we can be in an argument or confrontation because of something, and because I have, one or two things, weapon or whatever, I just take the next person down and I will now tag the person as, being probably a bandit or someone who came to attack I and my family, right? So do you think it will go well when it comes to these human rights this in the country?
Okay. I will answer as the same that she has. I'm not a judicial officer, number one. Number two, I'm not a security officer.
Okay.
But yes, at some point, I'm not trying to condone mob action. But you have the right to defend yourself.
Right.
When somebody is coming to hurt you. Okay? Plus, if we say we are going to wait for this security, where is that accessible and sincere number that we have to call them?
And now we have the 11-2.
That 11-2, is it going?
Yeah.
112, is it going?
Do you want to try? Do you want to try and
I
dial
would
it?
like to try.
But we actually can. But we'll do it off camera. So Saadatu, we'll be going on a break. Okay. Maybe this is your call. We'll do it during the break so that you understand. All right. So, dear viewer, you've been with us on Week in Slides on Toda Africa TV. I remain your host, Yakubu Jibrin, and we'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break. This remains Week in Slides on Toda Africa TV. And of course, this is Yakubu Seth Jibrin with Saadatu and Juliet. Now, before we went on that quick break, I was gearing up to, give us. But then you can add your response to this because it's somewhat similar. Okay. Now, the next story for us today is the police launching a rescue mission for the abducted Kebbi High Court Judge. Kebbi State High Court Judge has been abducted. Before the break, we said I made a comment about what it will look like, right? Looking outside, looking at Nigeria from outside, talking about the international communities, when you have citizens having to protect themselves because the security structure and agencies seem to have failed them. Now we're having a high-ranking official of the state, Kebbi State to be precise, being abducted. Sir, please, what is your take on this?
Well, my take on this is that these criminal people are not racist. Do you understand? They are not discriminating against. Okay. Before, a poverty man, like somebody who is poor man, yes, a poor man would say maybe these people are getting us, they are kidnapping us because we are poor because we are not rich. And then now we can see this thing happening to even people of high authority. I'm not happy because this thing is happening to them. But this incident in specific tell me that, okay, the justice system in Nigeria is in danger. And when the justice system in Nigeria is in danger, almost everyone is in danger. Because a common man have only this justice system to go to. And now the thing has gone far to the extent that a lawyer or just
chief justice
can be got into these people.
Right.
And what I saw is the power of information that they are getting from informants.
Right.
Because it happened to him in his residence.
Right.
Immediately after he came back from travel. That means they have been tracing him. They have been. So I think we need more of integration. But this at the same time reminds me of what Minister of Defense is, Christopher Musa. That some things is not, we shouldn't be looking at security officers or agencies for some things. Most of the things he say is family and moral value failures.
I will agree with that, actually.
Yes, we've been seeing a lot of things happening inside our home. A brother will come and kill his brother.
Yes.
What does security officer need to do with this?
Right.
So anything that has to do with communal tension, we need to sort it out. It starts from the kind of orientation we are getting in our home, in our churches, in our mosques. Do you understand?
Now, let me chip in before you continue, because there was an issue before where someone he was accusing the should I say the rulers, the community rulers, like they've gone fully into politics, that they've relinquished their duty by making sure that the people within their area are safe and cater to when they need be. Now, he made mention of something that struck me and it stuck with me since then. He said, you go to procure what are they called now?
Okay.
You go to secure contracts from these ministries and stuff, and you find that your chief, your village head or village chief is also seeking, you know, in some cases lobbying for that same contract.
Sure.
So they've neglected their, you know, their duties, so to speak, and they are going into politics. And that's why the government does not really listen to them until it's after 3 years before elections.
Yes, that's why. And I also like to encourage our community leaders, traditional and religious leaders, should also, you know, embracing balancing of information before they go and start preaching about it.
Right.
Because I've seen many cases whereby an Islamic scholar or a pastor will go and start doing a lecture based on story that is
hearsay, that is not valid proper.
And then this communal tension most of the time starts from there.
Yes, that's true.
Start from
it's family setting, then religious. Your family, then your place of worship.
So also. Most of the things has nothing to do with security agencies. We really have to sit down and introspect.
Just so I talk to that.
I was coming to you anyway.
You made a statement about the failing of security agency when it comes to the people defending themselves. And then speaking about intelligence, informant, we're hearing about informant, and this has been one of the security agency's core problem when it comes to tackling terrorism, banditry, or kidnapping.
Yes.
Most of the times, they are people you know, people within the community. Now, back to the failing of security agency. Let's not forget, like we just spoke about, the remuneration, their welfare. I saw a video where the foot soldiers, they were in battle, but guess what? I don't know what they call the armored car or something like that.
Yeah.
It failed.
So it wasn't functioning. It wasn't firing.
It wasn't moving. So imagine they're in that condition. So we go back to
proper equipment and facilities for them.
There needs to be a real restructuring. When we talk about restructuring from A to Z, when we talk about engagement with the people, when we talk about remuneration, when we talk about awareness, intelligence, let the people know who to trust. That's another thing. When it comes to looking at how people are tired and they feel like the government has failed, you can't even trust the next security person you're seeing because you don't know, is this person wearing a
the uniform,
and he's a terrorist wearing a uniform, or he's really a security personnel.
Right.
And for people that don't know who to trust, and then they just give information unknowingly, that's where our community rulers come in.
Right.
Like you guys have mentioned, rightly mentioned. Having the right community leaders, that's another thing. Because most of these community leaders, they actually, I'm not pointing hands, but they actually cause, especially communal clashes, things like communal clashes and
when you make insightful comments and
So when our community and religious leaders are involved, morals, I'm just reiterating what you guys have said.
Right.
But let's not forget the welfare of the soldiers.
Right.
Is important.
Right. Now, I don't think like the Yoruba. I think Yoruba has this adage that too much talk does not fill up a basket. Now, it's a different thing for anybody, including ourselves here as journalists, to talk about issues. We need follow-up. We need the sincerity of purpose from the people at the helms of affairs when it comes to our nation building, for them to really look at these issues and beat these allegations that we have those in high places sponsoring these things. Now, there was a case of someone, Samaila, a certain Mr. Samaila, who went on one of our brother stations, granted an interview, and then he got picked up because of the things he revealed. I think he's still under the DSS custody. Now, the issue is, we've over time been hearing that people are saying, oh, these people are being sponsored. Not just being sponsored, but by elements or high-ranking officials. And now this said guy now brought about this revelation of some ransom money being paid by both states and federal governments to the tune of 5-something billion. But at the end of the day, it was understood that it was 1.5 billion that reached the terrorists themselves. So they came out complaining. So if we're hearing issues like this now, it's just not the citizen now losing hope or faith in the security officials or agencies, but also losing faith in our administrators. Because number one, okay, for instance, now the US has this policy that they don't sit for dialogue with terrorists. If you're a terrorist and you're against the state, the whole might of the military capability of the US is on you. So we need to see, we'll pray for a situation in this country where we get to that level where we don't negotiate with terrorists, let alone paying ransom off. Do you know what that money can do to the Nigerian economy? Even if, in a layman's word now, you share that amount to all of us in this country,
and then,
change goes still remain.
Yes, and then when your loved one is being kidnapped,
right,
and you don't trust the system.
Yeah, the source money is to pay for it.
The system. I mean, patriotic Nigeria, that really respects national constitutions.
Right.
But these are our constitutions. At some point, I'm just like, maybe they are just written on paper, because we've seen our constitution that provide almost a lot of things for the solution for many problems.
Right.
So when your loved one is being kidnapped, and this constitution that say, the system that say you should never pay your ransom to them, this thing will happen, this will happen, and then nothing is happening.
Right.
Nothing is happening.
Just like people in power.
Yes, exactly. You coming to say that people should stop paying ransom. One of the dangers of paying ransom is that the moment you pay 10 billion naira or 1,000 naira to these kidnappers to get your loved one, you are investing in
you are funding. That's money they use to get other things.
Account, yes,
and I heard that they even ask for.
Need to know that.
No, of course they do.
They are funding.
They do, of course they know. They know
indirectly.
Yeah, because there are cases where if they are asking for ransoms, you hear that so amounts of money, and then 2 bikes. Yes. Some even ask for like liters of petrol.
I'm not trying to condone
we understand
the action of paying the ransom. But what happens when your loved one is being taken and nobody is going to come and do anything?
Yeah, that's why I and Juliet had the view that the whole faith in our security agencies and system and those in administration should be worked on to see that, okay, just like in the case of Oyo now, that everybody was happy that at least they gained their freedom. But then question marks are still lingering on that same case. Now, it needs to be worked on that, okay, if there's an insecurity issue or incident in a location, they go hands-on and we see results almost immediately. Now, we can't give them time frame, say in 1 hour, 2 hours, but we've seen cases where it takes weeks, months, some even years. There are some people that were kidnapped that we've forgotten totally in this nation.
The same day that Orire people was kidnapped, Musa people, they are also students. They have been kidnapped and nothing is being done.
Nothing seems to be done because we don't know if they are, but they are not saying. Anyways, like I said, we can't talk much. We can't say everything, as too much talk does not fill a basket. Now, we're gearing up for next year's general elections. Of course, there are tensions around, but we've seen too many reforms, too many budget presentation by INEC, who happens to be our electoral umpire in this country. Now, we're saying that there are cases of violence even before we cross into 2027 for the elections proper. It's almost as the political parties are preparing and gearing up for, getting re-elected or elected into the system, other elements in the system are also gearing up to do, talking about the ballot snatching and all that stuff. Now, we're hearing that gunmen attack INEC officials and cut away PVCs and beavers in Osun State. It's almost as if every turn a Nigerian takes in the affairs of this nation, we are being let down. Now, this is not the first time we're hearing about this in our electoral, experience so far as a nation. And sorry to say, Juliet, it seems as though this will not be the last, because it's almost like a normal thing that comes with. It's just like when you're cooking, obviously you need water, you need Maggi, you need this. Exactly. So it's almost like it comes with election preparations or period. What do you think should or can be done also as we're preparing for it, we should be preparing. It seems as if we should be preparing for the preparations to the elections also, because we're hearing this, and I think someone was killed. A life was lost in this attack. So what do you think what do you think that we're not doing that we're supposed to do to see that these kind of things, if we cannot bring them to a halt, but then less, occurrence of this kind of attacks on officials of the INEC?
The thing is this, like you've mentioned, this is not new.
Right.
And we would say we're shocked, like, oh my God.
It's not alien anymore.
Because it's predictable. And this off-cycle shenanigans going on in Osun State already shows what 2027
will look like.
May look like.
Right.
And the prediction might actually be right. Because a lot of people have forecasted a lot of violence, a lot of snatching. But it's very funny. In my senses, I'm like, this is AI generation. This is 21st century as we have it. But yet in Nigeria, we're hearing snatching ballot boxes,
boxes and PVCs and beavers.
This is now, we're not talking about the boxes now. We're talking about the PVCs.
Right. That people used to vote, really. So that means they're disenfranchising.
Exactly. This is a question to our democracy. Really, if you're taking someone's vote away from him, how do you want to now come up and say, oh, come and vote? Or, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And looking at, there's this report that came that the Osun State Secretary,
right,
they caught criminals in his house. And the state government is now arguing that who gave the police the warrant? Should we be talking about the warrant, or we should be talking about the things going on in the report? I mean, it's still under investigation, but all this playing out in Osun State, looking at the big picture, it actually tells what we should look out for in 2027.
And that picture is scary.
It's really scary, because this alone, I wouldn't want to even come and vote.
Exactly.
Because if they can do this without the election going on, their PVC is stolen, one person dead. If I should come out to vote, what will happen to me?
Exactly.
You get the fear. So this is more like instigating fear, discouragement to the people, taking away their democracy from them.
Yeah.
And you ask what can be done. I mean, there are electoral reforms that people are pushing for. Civil organizations, civil society, and a lot of well-meaning
Nigerians
are pushing for this. If the government can look into it, not
electoral act reforms,
exactly, not based on political interest, just because of democracy.
But do you think, before you continue, before you finish, so that you put this into your line of thought, do you think our politicians or our political actors have the capability to separate their interests from politicking? Because it seems as though they go hand in hand. Sometimes, in more cases, you see that the latter plays more role in their politicking. So do you think they should or they can? Do you think? What's your take on that?
I don't. Okay, not to give a clear answer, but the only way to know the answer is by determining or seeing their actions.
Okay.
When they are, contesting and campaigning for election, what is their body language? The moment they enter into that position, what is their body language?
Right.
It was already 2023 when the swearing in and everything, and we can see the body language and the actions of most governors that were just elected or re-elected, moving towards campaigning for 2027 off-cycle elections and the general elections to come. So that could answer the question.
Okay.
And the question I want to actually throw to us is the INEC and PVC and who is responsible who is responsible for protecting these items, these facilities?
I think from what I know, those facilities or equipment don't move without proper security. They have escorts.
So that means this actually, they penetrated through the security to get this.
But then, what is the security structure of that transportation, so to speak? You might see just an armed mopole officer, probably with not enough rounds and ammunition to shoot in case.
I don't know if you saw that video in Osun still,
right?
That the police officers were there and then hoodlums, thugs, they were taking cutlass and
chasing them. Yeah.
So it questions that question that is actually legit. Who should protect the beavers, the PVC, and the people?
Now, what I know from what I've read and seen in other, places, countries, speaking of, if these security outfits are going for probably to escort sensitive materials, they don't go with live rounds, in the sense that if you shoot someone, it doesn't kill them. So they go with fake rounds. Either the ones that you shoot, it makes a sound, but nothing, no projectile, or rubber bullets, right? Or more of spray cans to, just deter the, and create space so that all these things pass. So now, Saadatu, back to you. It's as if the electoral process from, let's say, point A, which is the planning, to the actual elections, and then after, because obviously we know that after the elections is court hearings and suing here and there, right? So what do you think, or how do you think they should change their memoranda of approach to this political season that we're entering, in the sense that, is there a clear court punishment for those vandalizing our equipment? Do you understand? And then if they are being caught, what is done to them? And then the case of Osun that she rightfully brought about, people are talking that it's happening in that vicinity because the sitting governor does not belong to the ruling party. And if you listen well and you go online, you see that there are some, it's almost like a tent against a tent. Everybody has his own, beliefs, and they are pushing it. We're seeing cases where a sitting governor talking about this Uyo's incident, saying he needs an external probe, people to come and investigate the happenings surrounding that said release. Now, to drive my question to you now, do you think there's truth in what people are saying, that some states are being targeted because they don't belong to the ruling party? It's almost as though the ruling party is doing everything possible to frustrate oppositions in states that they don't control. Do you think there's truth in that, or you want to debunk, or just give us your take on that?
Okay, for me, I think there is always speculation.
Yeah.
You can never stop speculation, most especially when it comes to politics in Nigeria.
Right.
You never can tell. Right. People has a lot of things to say.
True.
Just that, what I want young Nigerians to know is that, why is it that negativity is always more louder than positivity?
Right.
People that are creating havoc and violence at the polling points. Besides, why is it that the caption goes with gunmen? These people go to get PVC.
Right.
And for me, the understanding of gunmen I have is people who come to get lives. So I think this is more political than that of, always throwing things to the gunmen. We have so many young people, like Juliet, I've heard her saying, during her survey, that because you like yourself, even though you have somebody that you would like them to be your leader, but you have to feel secure for you to go outside and vote.
Right.
But I want Nigerian youth to do something more than mobilizing digitally. Okay. Because the people that go to the polling units and create havoc are also young people that are very intentional. Some
are people that we know.
Sure. That are very intentional with what they are doing.
They are doing their agenda.
So what happened to us not being intentional with changing that thing? These people are not up to our number.
True.
So I think we have to fight this thing in the sense that our presence is needed.
Right.
Our presence is needed.
Right.
And then no matter what we do, I have never seen somebody win an election online. Which which I've seen a lot of young people sitting on their bed, pushing narrative and then promoting hashtag. Vote this person. It's not enough.
Right.
Because if 500 young people stay at home and then keep talking online and 2 people come
to vote, it's those people
that come outside and vote. So please, scenarios like this should not discourage us to say we don't want to go out because people will do this and that. If we stay home, the security is also not going to be guaranteed. So we have to go out. And I want Nigerians to know something. This Nigeria that we are yelling, shouting that we need Nigeria to change. We have to give our life for Nigeria to change.
In some cases,
are you willing to give your life?
Are you willing to? Well, at some point,
is the country worth losing?
Even if I'm not willing, I'm very thankful that you have thrown this question to me. Even if I'm not willing to give my life, the people that go forward and said, I want Nigeria to change, they should know that. Go forward, give your life. Nigeria will change for your children to enjoy
and those
Nigeria.
That will come after.
I have watched a documentary and a South African woman was saying, Nelson Mandela have to go to prison for me to walk in the streets of South Africa and I feel free. So do you see the power of giving your life? You have to be very intentional about it. Right. It's not only about being spoken or bold.
Online, just talking. There must be action. Yes, actions speaks louder than words. Right.
And those who talk much speak. This
empty barrels make the loudest noise.
You will see a Nigerian. What can you say about the attack in Sokoto? Please remove my word. How is Nigeria going to change like that?
True.
So that needs to
that means we're bringing in focus the fact that our national interest is almost dead in the citizens. Now, when I say that, it means that not taking it to the extreme that you lose your life for the sake of the betterment of the country, but then it should also be something that is in our, in our mentality that if it comes to that, I'm happy to. Right? And then you also see happenings around the nation, talking about the October 2020, the EndSARS protest, how many people lost their lives. Some are undocumented as we speak.
And
some want to talk, but they can't talk. There's a certain DJ that is still on exile, a female DJ. They're still on exile. Nobody knows her whereabouts. And even if she's making publication, probably through the internet, I'm very sure she changes location. So you see that there are people before you who have, in a way, tried to come out and put action to words. But then it's almost as though everything goes back to usual. So this question as we close, Juliet, do you think in Nigeria, as it is now, we're not talking about hope, aspirations for the future, as things are now presently in this country, do you think Nigeria is worth the stress? Or should we just go along and see how, till we get to the end of our days and then we let the next generation come and, do you understand? We just pass the baton that, okay, we met it this way, this is the way it is, so just do your own.
The president's statement says
exactly.
Hunger. So
before he was giving birth, there was hunger, so he doesn't have control over the population. Now, if you put all these things in place, into focus rather, do you think Nigeria is worth it? Really, as it is now?
The question is non-negotiable. Your country is your country. It's non-negotiable.
Right.
It should be worth it because even if you say, oh, I spoke with Saadatu on 360 talking about Jaffa.
Okay,
even if you say, oh, Nigeria is not for me. I mean, I'm done with this country, and you leave to another country. That's not your home.
Right.
So when you come back, even if you're going to die there, they're going to bury you. What about your children?
Right.
What about your generation? Is that what you want? Is that how you want your name and your country's name to just? So I feel just for the beauty of generational
transition and transfer. Right.
Thank you. It's worth it.
Okay.
And look at our natural resources. Look at Nigerians.
And we're still discovering new natural resources.
So
do you really have these natural resources?
Yeah, we do.
It's not
in large deposits. In large deposits.
I'm telling you that if Nigeria should be fixed, when I mean fixed, we're talking about leadership, governance, the people, corruption. If all this is taken away, come on. And
country of abundance.
Yeah, we have heaven on earth right here in Nigeria.
Interference.
Okay, from foreign,
very important. Interference from foreign
entities.
Right. I don't think Nigeria would not be where it is today. It's going to be far beyond. Nigeria would be number one in the globe.
Wow.
Yes, with what we have.
Nigeria.
No, but with what we have, we should be topping.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's a natural resources that is known to man on earth, on Mother Earth, that Nigeria does not have. If not in large quantity to export, but we can make something from it for the people to benefit from it.
And also not forget the human resources, human capital.
Of course, because even in the abroad, the Jagba that you talk about, Nigeria is doing exploits right there. So if we bring all that here, harness it with those that are here, plus those that have experience outside, come back and work, we will be, I think, the second guardian of Eden.
Yes, and then reacting to her statements. Yeah. There's one interview I've watched from one presidential aspirant. I don't know if I should mention the name.
Feel free.
Yes, Peter Obi. He was being asked, what can you do if you
get elected,
happen to be the president of Nigeria? He said, what I said in 2023 is the same thing that I'm going to say in 20 here right now. The only difference is implementation. Okay. So speaking of what you said, we have the abundance, but utilization is what we have.
Exactly.
And how can it be utilized when we have good leaders? Because it has been utilized. A lot of people are utilizing it, but not Nigerians. That is exploited. Thank you. That is why I ask you, do we really have this natural resources? Because somebody who is a Zamfara resident, he doesn't even know where this
is. If I understand your statement, by asking rather, do we have them? It's because if your dad is rich, people are outside saying they are, you should feel it. It should show on you. So coming from that, I understand your statement. So we're rounding off, obviously. We can't be here forever. And in as much as we're enjoying, you still want to add?
Yes, before we round
a minute, please.
Yes. During that end bad governance.
Yeah.
So those people that we have lost are the people that I was talking about. You need to bring your life forward for Nigeria to be changed. In as much as they did not commit anything to deserve to be killed, I think they should be documented because they are supposed to be
our national heroes,
as our fallen heroes. And then some young people like me should also put it in mind that your life has nothing to, be reserved when it comes to your country.
Yeah, the love for your country.
The love for your country. If you have a member of your family that is an informant to the bandit, please report him. Report him to police station.
Can we do that?
First.
Can we do that?
Your country
can we do that? But then what has the country done for you to warrant you to see the need to report a relative to the system? So I'm just saying, these are questions that, in as much as we want these things to be addressed, we still need to not pay, blind eyes to the reality on ground.
But the action should start from ourselves. If you want the change, you don't have to wait for yourself to be a billionaire to buy a car for your family. Start with the broom you have and sweep the house.
True. Right. Our viewers, you've heard Saadatu on a closing note. You don't need billions to make a change. Start with your broom. Make your compound sweet, clean and sweet. Just as the saying goes, rather, cleanliness is close and next to godliness. This is where we draw the curtain on today's episode. It's been an interesting one. And I know we're going to have one or two conversations after because everybody is still right. So this remains your station of choice, Third Eye Africa TV, and this is Week in Slice with Yakubu Jibrin. See you next time. Bye-bye.